Yeah, that's a good one. So what has changed in terms of how to sell? There's a bunch of different philosophies on how to sell. And the one through line between all of it is human. Speaking human, right? You meet somebody, the first thing I will not say is like, hey, do you need a website? It's like, you know, and sometimes I think the greatest hack is actually when people ask, you know, how are you doing? And most people are like, good. And I'm like, great, I'm alive, right? Great, my family's alive. Great, you know, this minute of this hour of this day is freaking great, right? Like you're just like answering it just slightly more human, like it kind of like shocks people's system. And so, I don't know, for me, sales is like a little bit, again, by the way, I am also a relationship salesperson, right? Where it's like, I'm cool following up for the lifetime of me on this planet, right? And again, I know some people have quotas and whatnot, but ultimately it's like taking actually, you know what? I'll distill sales down to the one ethos that I'm running off of at this exact moment. The more your prospect has to think, the farther away you are from the money. So, you know, someone said it to me like this: do you want to be right or do you want to win deals? Right? And so there's obviously a lot that should be considered, or they should maybe, but that's like stuff that you know that you're basically promising as part of this, right? Like even working with, you know, my producer to do these videos. He's coming with lighting. He's coming with 2 different cameras. He's coming with the mic. He's coming with the 3 different tripods. Da, 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 da. He's bringing it up in his own cart. He's unlocking the door. He's setting up this. Like, can you imagine though if he was like, well, what camera do you want me to use? What light do you want me to bring? What, you know, can you meet me in the lobby? Can you open, like, right? Like, and yeah, all relevant, but it's like, it's too much to think about. When versus like, I'm going to be there at this day, this time, sets it all up. And it's like, Mark, come shoot. That's why he closes these deals. Yeah.
Thank you for the share.
But it's true. I mean, again, like, you know, because I'll tell you, there's the one lesson we've learned where, like, again, websites can be insanely complicated, and where we've been wrong in how we've been selling literally for the last 14 months has been like so detail orientated to, you need to know this about SEO, you need to know this about this, you need to make sure what technology, how do you want it to webhook into your blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, dude, you're talking to a marketing person who's also dealing with franchisees, also dealing with their boss potentially, and like you're putting all of these decisions on them, and then you're wondering why a sale is taking so long. It's like, we got you for website, end it. And when they ask you a question, the answer is yes, unless it's just so far no. But bake in that margin of error, right? 5% maybe, 10% maybe, where it's like, it went over scope. But if you have the velocity of customers, you're not gonna miss that 5-10%, you know? You have to focus more on those nuances when you don't have your next deal, because you don't want to burn your people out.